not God's calling to quit as a pastor and go all in. James says it was advice from above that allowed him to make millions from the real estate market, even though he doesn't own a single piece of property. It's called landlording. Plenty are doing it and it's legal. But in a time where hardworking families are being squeezed out of rentals, there are calls for a crackdown.
I'm a 22-year-old seven-figure Airbnb host, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I got started.
I'm going to give you the exact blueprint of how I generated 30 million in revenue from Airbnb properties that I don't even own.
This helped me explode my Airbnb business to over $200,000 a month.
It's not a loophole, it's not illegal. Landlording is making plenty of people plenty of cash.
How we went from just a few $1,000s in the bank to launching over 500 Airbnbs across 4 continents.
This is James Murphy, once a broke Sydney pastor, now a self-described millionaire.
You say you've got $30 million in bookings without owning a single property. Is that correct?
We've collected over the past 5 to 6 years across all of the properties over 30 million in booking revenue. And it's without owning a property.
That's extraordinary, isn't it?
It's powerful to think that you can generate significant revenue without needing to actually purchase properties.
And he's not afraid to show off his success.
How it can help you to grow cash flow, change your life, level up your lifestyle.
So how? James can thank God. He says he got a call from above to quit his day job as a pastor. He signs long-term rental leases and sublets them out at a handsome profit on the lucrative short-stay market.
So explain how the rent-to-rent works, because I think a lot of people think it's illegal.
It's actually a big misconception in Australia and really globally. So the idea of subletting is actually legal with the right permissions. And so as long as you have the permission in the contract from the landlord,
comply with strata and council regulations, and
it's entirely legal.
James leads a dedicated list of disciples, charging a pretty penny for lessons to follow in his footsteps.
So we're going to walk you through everything.
But here's the issue.
It does feel a bit off when you've got people who are desperate, looking for somewhere to live, and they're just being locked out.
It may be legal, but City of Sydney Councillor Jess Miller questions whether it's right in the midst of a rental crisis.
So all of these Airbnb, we reckon?
Yeah, there's a lockbox there, a couple up there.
Pointing out the lockboxes and piles of linen waiting to be collected as the telltale signs of the short-term rental market, such as Airbnb, Stays and Booking.com. Councillor Miller's leading the charge for change, finding just 3 people are the host of around 800 inner-city properties, pushing out long-term renters.
You make way more cash if you're renting out on the short-term rental accommodation market.
Airbnb points to research commissioned by the City of Sydney on short-term rentals, which found it's
not considered to be a major driver of the city's housing market issues.
But try telling that to father of 5, Cormac Champion.
The kids are all gone, the neighbours are all gone.
He's a renter in Sydney's inner city. The kids have an urban playground, and he's watched as his renting neighbours have been forced out.
It started with a trickle and then it just became a flood of neighbours that were all having to move out because the houses have all become Airbnbs.
One of his neighbours just couldn't withstand a $450 a week increase in rent.
The landlords can get that money, so fair enough, they put their investment, why shouldn't they make a good return on their investment? But if there's no regulation to stop them, there's nothing to say that you can't turn entire suburbs into hotel rooms.
Pushed out, Tale, an enrolled nurse studying to be a registered nurse for the career opportunities and the pay bump which will come with it.
I wanted to be a nurse my entire life.
She's 30, lives with her mum. A 2-hour commute every day really grinds her gears.
Because the thought of sitting in traffic, sitting in my car, crawling all the way down the highway back to home fills me with like a sense of dread.
She could do without the trek after a long shift, but she says she simply can't afford to live anywhere near work.
It really angers me because the community relies so much on us. The rental for me would be more than 80% of my income, which would just be completely unmanageable.
Councillor Miller is lobbying the state government to step in.
We need the Premier to do something. Like, we hear about the housing affordability crisis ad nauseum. This is a really simple way of doing something quickly. The homes are already built, but they're sitting there lazy. So until we're able to have some kind of register where you know who owns the property, what's it being used for, is it being operated as a business or a home, there's no point really having any rules.
Airbnb says there's already plenty of rules. There's a register in New South Wales, a 180-day cap in Sydney, and lowering it will do little to change vacancy rates, citing New York City, where strict rules have been in place for 2 years and housing supply hasn't budged. Ex-pastor turned property mogul James is used to criticism. He cops a fair bit of it online, saying he's cashing in while others struggle.
More focused on profit than people.
Greed.
This is the cause of homelessness.
One of them said you are to blame for the housing crisis in Australia. What do you say to that?
The sources show that there's probably less than 2% of Airbnb listings compared to the overall supply of properties across Australia. So it's a small slice of the market.
But it does drive up rental prices. We have to be frank about that. It does drive up rental prices.
I think the primary reason for the demand on property rentals is centred around the short supply of housing. The government has made targets for 2029 in terms of the number of houses to be built and placed into the market. We're more than 200,000 shy of that target across all states currently.
Until then, Tale will keep schlepping up the highway to the hospital.
The reason why we've chosen that profession is because we care about people. And the fact that that is not reciprocated by the people that should be caring about us is like disheartening.